planet Kalether shimmered like a strange jewel in the infinite dark ocean of space. Its lavender skies moved in slow, dreamy currents, pierced occasionally by silent bolts of lightning that rippled without thunder. Its forests, ancient and thick, whispered in tones only the most sensitive minds could perceive, sounds not heard but felt like music for the soul. This was not a world open to outsiders. Kalether was fiercely guarded by its native species, the Ari. They were tall, graceful beings with translucent skin that glowed softly in the dark, luminous silver-blue hair that flowed like liquid starlight, and eyes like molten amethyst. Their lives were guided by rituals older than memory, and their customs were woven into the very fabric of their civilization. And then humans arrived. Through the fragile diplomacy of the United Colonial Accord, a tentative peace was negotiated. In time, the Ari, specifically their ruling house, the Moonborn, permitted a small human delegation to observe and study their culture. Among them was Corporal Reed Holloway, an ex-soldier turned xenobiologist. Reed was a man shaped by war and wonder. His face bore the crooked signature of a forgotten skirmish, his mind a restless sea that never settled. He had a gift, though a rare one. He could feel languages, read patterns in behavior, and connect dots most never noticed. That's what made him valuable. But it was curiosity that made him dangerous. He had no way of knowing that his arrival on Kalether would bind him to its fate, that everything would change during one sacred night under 5 moons. The festival of celestial bonding. Every 7 cycles, Kalether's 5 moons aligned, and during this rare celestial event, the Ari held a sacred festival called Nothelerin, the bonding of light. On this night, their heirlooms, especially the Nethi, resonated with powerful energy. These necklaces were no mere jewelry. They were living crystals, grown and shaped to attune to the soul of a single Ari. No one but the rightful wearer could touch one, and under no circumstance could another wear it. Doing so would form an immediate and unbreakable psychic connection. A binding New York Therol. Reed was invited to observe the rituals as a gesture of goodwill. But when left unsupervised inside the Arari temple, curiosity overtook caution. The temple itself was surreal, its architecture like flowing glass shaped by wind and light. Bioluminescent vines curled through the air, shimmering with hues not yet named by humans. Wandering alone, Reed stumbled upon a meditation chamber bathed in a shaft of moonlight. At the center sat a pedestal woven from crystalline branches, and upon it lay a necklace unlike anything he had ever seen. The Nethi pulsed softly as if alive. The crystal pendant floated just above its woven base, gently rotating in midair. Its rhythm seemed to sync with his own heartbeat. He didn't mean to touch it, but his hand moved anyway, pulled by something unseen. And the moment the necklace passed over his head, the chamber exploded with white light. His knees hit the floor. Visions flooded his mind. A towering forest seen from above. Laughter that wasn't his. A crushing loneliness hidden beneath layers of duty. Then the door flew open. She stood there, Clonie of the Moonborn house. Ari elite. Scholar. Warrior. Ambassador. Her presence was luminous and commanding. Her silver-blue hair shimmered like moonlit water, and her eyes, glowing amethyst, fixed instantly on the necklace, and then on him. "You foolish, reckless human," she hissed, her voice sharp as broken crystal. I didn't know it was yours," Reed stammered, pulling at the necklace. It didn't budge. "It is bound now," she said coldly. "You cannot remove it." "What does that mean?" Her expression darkened. "It means by our law our minds are joined, our fates entwined, until death or ritual severance, a right lost to time." Reed stared, stunned. "You're saying I'm stuck with you?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "No, we are stuck with each other." The fallout. The aftermath was chaos. The Ari High Council was furious. Some called for Reed's immediate expulsion. A few even whispered demands for execution. His violation of sacred tradition was no small matter. But Clonie, bound by both custom and personal honor, stood before the elders and claimed responsibility for his survival. Reluctantly, a compromise was reached. Reed would remain under Clonie's guardianship. She would monitor him, teach him, and most importantly, keep their bond hidden from Ari political rivals who would see it as a threat to stability. The bond was not metaphorical. They felt each other, emotions like distant echoes at first. Irritation, confusion, fleeting curiosity. Over time, the link sharpened. Anger spiked like heat. Sadness felt like a hollow chest. And once, unexpectedly, laughter shimmered between them like a shared breeze. Their early days were awkward. Clonie was strict, efficient, controlled. Reed was sarcastic, unpredictable, human. Their conversations bristled with tension and unspoken frustration. But then came a quiet shift. One evening, they stood in the floating gardens, vast pools suspended over open sky, where glowing insects danced in silence. Clonie spoke first. "You still wear it." Reed touched the necklace. "I can't take it off. You stopped trying days ago." He hesitated. "Maybe I don't want to." Her eyes met his. The link between them pulsed with a flicker of warmth. "You are a strange creature, Reed Holloway. And you're not exactly standard issue either," he said with a grin. She didn't smile. But the bond shimmered with quiet amusement. Shared training, shared trust. Clonie taught him the arts of the Ari. How to move in silence. How to read thoughts beneath surface words. How to fight with Shalenneth, the elegant twin-staff style passed down by her ancestors. In return, Reed taught her chess. At first, she called it crude. But then she began to understand its beauty, chaos ordered through logic. They were opposites. She was a master of form. He was ruled by instinct. But in that contrast, a harmony emerged. During one expedition to the verdant chasm, Reed slipped from a cliff edge. He screamed, but never hit the ground. Clonie caught him with seconds to spare. "I felt your heartbeat stop," she gasped, trembling. "You felt it because," he whispered, "it was yours too." They didn't speak for a long time after that. The trial by fire. When a faction of All-Ari purists, extremists who opposed all human contact, sabotaged the planetary energy relay on the far ridge, Kalether faced ecological collapse. Crops, wildlife, even the weather depended on the relay. Reed volunteered to go. Clonie insisted on accompanying him. It was a trap. They were ambushed, outnumbered, fought side by side like one soul in two bodies. His reactions and her precision formed a deadly rhythm. But one assailant slipped through, bearing a blade into Clonie's side. Reed screamed. He felt the pain before he saw the blood, glowing, pale blue like starlight. "You have to go on," she gasped. "Complete the repairs. The bond, it will destroy you if I die." "Then don't die," he whispered fiercely, pressing his forehead to hers. He carried her across the ridge, fought off a second wave of attackers, and activated the relay. As the sky lit once more with energy, he collapsed beside her, clutching her limp form. They woke 3 days later in a healing dome. "You're not dead," he breathed, eyes glistening. "No," she said softly. "But I felt you in every breath." Legacy of the bond. The elders convened again. But things had changed. The story of their bravery spread across Kalether like wildfire. For the first time, the Ari began to view a human not as an intruder, but as one touched by destiny. The ancient rite of ritual severance was offered. Neither accepted. Years passed. Reed remained on Kalether, not as an observer, but as Clonie's counterpart. Their bond deepened, not into love, not exactly, but something older, something sacred. They continued their work, he among the scholars, she among the diplomats and warriors. And though they never spoke of the bond as love, it spoke for them. The necklace never left his neck. It no longer pulsed with confusion or fear, but with calm, radiant harmony. The moons align again. 7 cycles later, under the same sky where it all began, they stood once more atop the Arari temple spire. The 5 moons formed their perfect arc above them. Clonie's voice was quiet. "What began as a mistake became our destiny," Reed finished, his hand resting on the crystal pendant. She nodded, eyes soft. "Then let us thank the stars for mistakes." And somewhere in the vastness of the lavender sky, the moons watched, and the world sang.